what is a circular economy, really?
In brief, a circular economy is a kind of economy where nothing goes to waste. You take, you make, you use, you recycle.
Hello everyone, my name is Grace, and yet again we are here to discuss everything climate change, climate solutions and environment sustainability. And today I'm pleased to be joined by Peter, the founder of Takataka Plastics. We are going to be delving into the circular economy and how to rethink our waste disposal to create more wealth. Thank you. I'm excited to be part of this conversation. I hope you also have fun and enjoy it. So Peter, welcome.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be part of this. And so I'm Peter Okwoko and co-founder of Takataka Plastics. I'm excited about this session.
Yes. Now, in brief, what is a circular economy, really?
In brief, a circular economy is a kind of economy where nothing goes to waste. You take, you make, you use, you recycle. So you close that loop. It's different from a linear economy where you take, you make, and you dispose of.
Yes, actually, I was going to ask you the difference between circular economy and linear economy and all that jargon that we see in the environment sustainability space. So how does waste recycling fit into this narrative?
Well, waste recycling fits in such a way that, remember in the past, what used to happen is, which is still happening in many communities. We have beverages in plastic bottles. We consume the beverages and then dispose of the plastic bottles. And this end up in either landfills or water bodies or drainages, clogging drainages. So how recycling brings about the circular economy is that we collect those plastic bottles that have been disposed, and instead of having them end up in landfills, transform them into products like this.
Yes.
So by doing that, we are closing the loop. So nothing goes to waste. What people see as waste gets turned into a product that can be reused.
Yes. So would I be right to say that the essence of a circular economy is to achieve the zero waste way of living?
Yeah, in some way you're right. Yeah, it's to achieve that. I mean, in the linear economy,
yes,
we have a lot of waste generated. Make products and use products and they end up in landfills. Whereas in the circular economy, we are reducing on the waste. I can't say that it's easy to achieve zero waste, but it's a movement. I mean, it's a drive towards zero waste.
Yes. So how does Takataka fit into this narrative, and how does it help in achieving the circular economy by turning, in essence, turning waste into wealth, turning waste into usable products and usable household items that aid in day-to-day life, easing our day-to-day lives? First of all, before we go into that, what is Takataka really?
Takataka is a Kiswahili word, and it means trash. It means in Uganda kasasiro, and so it basically means trash. And we chose the name when we were beginning this initiative. I remember we posted on social media and asked people that, we want to deal in waste management, turning plastic waste into something. And we asked for suggestions of names to use. And many people suggested Takataka. And to us, we felt like, this is a good name to use because our vision is way bigger than just doing it in Uganda. And given the fact that in countries like Congo, Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, and other neighboring countries, some people speak Kiswahili and people are aware of the name Takataka. They know what it means. We're like, this would make our work easier in future if we have to expand to other locations.
Okay. So how has the journey of Takataka been really?
It has been bittersweet. We started officially in 2020, but before that, we did research between 2018 and 2019. We moved around the country with my co-founder Paige, studying the state of waste management in different regions. And we realized that, there were a few players in place, but what they were mostly doing was crushing the plastics and then selling the flakes to countries like India, China, Turkey. And to us, we felt like that is selling most of the value that is attached to the waste. So we're like, we need to create a different model of handling it. So we're like, okay, which model do we go with? We studied different industries and realized that the construction industry is actually a lucrative industry that we can dive in. So we developed technologies, we developed processes to turn the plastic waste into final products, and our primary products are the construction tiles. And 2020, when we started, 3 months down the road, COVID happened, and it kind of affected our processes, our production processes, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because we realized that there was an opportunity for us to help the community through the work that we're doing. So we started producing face shields for frontline medical workers, and we distributed way more than 20,000 face shields across the country. And the work we do it for people, the planet, and prosperity. When we started in 2020, we were about 4 staffs, and now we've grown to about 57 full-time staff. And
Yes, so you've mentioned that your main product is actually tiles, and you ventured into because it was lucrative. And was this decision informed by the fact that the construction industry has been documented globally to be one of the leading industries in carbon emissions? Because the cement, concrete, the whole construction assembling cement, sand, concrete use emits a lot of carbon, and by the time the building is done being constructed, we can't run away from the fact that it has actually impacted in amplifying the current climate change crisis. So even into venturing in recycling plastic to create tiles, was this decision, would I be right to say that this decision was also influenced by that background?
Yeah, sure. It was influenced by that. It was influenced by the fact that there are a lot of emissions when you look at the construction materials used, when you look at blocks where they use cement and sand, when you look at the current tiles in the market, the ceramic tiles, the production processes emits a lot of CO2. So we're like, okay, how do we come out with an alternative to that, like a greener product that can help in environmental sustainability, that can help reduce carbon footprints in the construction industry and so forth. But the other thing that we were looking at the volume, because the plastic waste, the PET, the water and soda bottles out there are massive. So we're looking at a product that could take up a bigger volume of the waste that we have in our community. And the construction industry is one of the industries where when you make a product, people consume in bigger volumes.
Yes. Now, I wanted to also find out what is the cost benefit of using a plastic tile over the usual ordinary tiles that we use. Because if someone is going to make a case for environment sustainability, investing in living in a carbon-friendly way, one of the biggest challenges we face currently is that sustainability practices and initiatives tend to be a bit pricier compared to the ordinary that people are used to. So what is the price margin between an ordinary tile, ceramic tiles, which are the majority out here, and the plastic tiles made by Takataka?
Yeah, the prices are actually kind of competitive.
Yes.
The prices of our plastic tiles are at around 30,000 Ugandan shillings, which is kind of the same as the prices of the low quality ceramic tiles in the market. The high quality ceramic tiles are at around 45,000, 50,000. So the prices are kind of competitive. Then when you look at the other cost benefit aspect, which is the environmental aspect, this is made from approximately 20 plastic bottles and small soda and water bottles. And that is about half a kilogram of plastic waste, which translates to about 1 kilogram of CO2 that have been offset from polluting the environment.
Wow, that's quite something. Yes, so now, other than the tiles, what other products are you really into? And now, before we get into the tiles, maybe for emphasis, I will state that one tile, as you can see here, these are 20 plastic bottles recycled, meaning these tiles are equally carbon storage technology, really. So yes, Peter, what other products are you into? Personally, I've had the benefit of acquiring some of your products in terms of indoor portraits and ornaments and decorative stuff here and there. So what other products are you into other than tiles?
Yeah, other than tiles, we're also making learning aids.
Yes.
We're making these learning aids for kids. We started making games, like board games out of the recycled plastics as well. We make phone stands, we make laptop stands, we make plastic sheets that different furniture shops can use to make furniture. And we've started piloting PET to fiber, but on a very small scale.
I've heard of that actually. Yes.
Yeah, on a very small scale. We are trying to, instead of importing the machines, our engineers are trying to develop the machines locally that we can resell to other entities interested in sustainability, environmental sustainability. And yeah, basically those are the products that we currently make.
Okay, so Peter, walk me through the process of from the point you get the plastic to us having this.
Yeah.
A brief process.
Okay, so briefly, we start from where we collect the plastic. So we have different mechanisms. One, we've set up plastic banks in the communities where people drop in their plastics. Then we also have about 200 community collectors. So they collect the plastic bottles and bring to our facility to sell. So when we get the plastics, the first process is at the facility is sorting. So we sort by color, the green bottles apart, the clear bottles apart, white, blue, brown, etc. After that, still in the sorting, we remove the bottle caps. If we have different types of plastics like cups or plates embedded into the pile that we get, we also separate those because we process different plastics differently, like we don't mix them together. Then after that, the next step is crushing. So we crush the plastics before going for crushing, we first bale them because we want to make sure that our space is not taken up with a mountain of plastics. So when we bale them, that saves on space. Like you bale a lot of plastics into something small, and baling also helps in the crushing process. It improves the efficiency of crushing. So after baling, we take them for crushing. Then after crushing, we wash the plastics. Then after washing, we do another separation because when we crush the plastics together with the rings. It's very work intensive to cut the rings.
Yes.
So we mix them together and we do another separation where the rings are separated from the plastic bottles. Then after that, we process them into into the tiles and other products. So depending on the product we are coming out with, we use like different machinery and different molds to come out with the products. Yeah.
Yes. Now, in this whole implementation of a circular cycle, from I can see from the waste that is production and then consumption, like it's a cycle of responsible consumption and production.
Yeah.
I can tell that there are different players involved, and at each stage, this is creating more jobs.
Yeah, sure.
Creating jobs for the community and a way of survival for all these people who are involved at all these different stages.
Yeah, sure.
So roughly, how many people are usually involved in the whole process up to the final product?
Roughly, as I mentioned, for our case, at our current scale, roughly there are about 250 people involved. 47 full-time and about 200 in the communities who do the collection. But I would say there are others who play a part that we don't know about.
Yes.
They maybe sell to the 200 who then sell to our facility.
Okay.
So that makes the number even higher. But what we know about, what we're sure about is about 250 people involved. Yeah.
So 250 green jobs, 250 people employed.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, Peter, from your own experience, what has been the biggest barrier to implementing such circular economy practices around waste recycling innovation?
From my experience, I think one of the barriers is taxes. We strive hard to secure resources, to secure machinery, and the import taxes levied on these machineries is way too high, yet the work we do is for the betterment of the environment, is to support our communities and so forth. And the taxes that are levied, that many entities pay, that is money which would have been used for operational costs, which would have been used to even increase the impact of the work that we do. Then the second aspect is standardization of recycled products. Unfortunately, our country still has no standards for recycled products.
Yes.
And out there in the market, people want to see a product with a UNBS stamp, like in order for them to believe in the products. But fortunately, there is a will from UNBS. We've started the process with UNBS. We are borrowing some standards from the US and Europe so that we co-create standards for recycled products that will be beneficial not only to Takataka Plastics, but other people in the green business circle.
Yes. Now, you've mentioned that the challenge with taxes when you're importing all the machinery that is going to assist in this waste recycling innovations. So I wanted to find out, how do you think government can best incentivize the industry to ensure that there are more entrants into it and that there is massive manufacturing and production of waste recycling innovations in this space? But also we have to balance the incentives and also avoid the risk of over-regulating, because one of the biggest issues we face in our country is that we seem to be more interested in regulating the economy other than ensuring that there is freedom of trade and people can easily be on a willing buyer, willing seller way of doing business. How do you think government can best balance both sides, really?
Yeah, so I think for the issue of incentives from government, one, I would say tax waivers for green businesses, but I would also add something called having zero rated taxes on these products.
Yes.
Zero rated, like, for example, how learning aids are zero rated. You don't pay taxes.
Yes, you don't pay VAT.
VAT,
yes.
Something like that. That would be beneficial to many recycling firms in the country. Then the regulation, that one is a tricky one, but I would advise government to learn from other countries that are in support of circular economies, how they are doing it. And some of the regulations are already in place. Government should not start like the regulation from afresh. Pick a leaf from what is happening in countries like Denmark, like how they are doing it. Pick a leaf from Kenya, because Kenya is doing amazing when it comes to circular economy.
Yes.
And, make the regulations not very tough on small scale social enterprises that are trying to help with environmental sustainability.
Yes. Now, you see, also with the rise of waste recycling innovations and of course climate technologies in all the different spheres, one of the biggest issues we face is greenwashing, because someone would be as bold as to represent that, yes, this product, it has a label indicating that it has been packaged in a recyclable bottle, or this has been built with sustainably developed tiles. So the biggest challenge we face in the circular economy and also innovations around climate change management is greenwashing, where people misrepresent the impact of their innovations to indicate that they are bettering the environment, when in reality, nothing of this is happening.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can best address this with the advent and rise of waste recycling initiatives, such as sustainably developed tiles from plastics?
Yeah, I think government bodies like, for example, NEMA or UNBS, especially UNBS. UNBS can work together with NEMA and do audits on such farms. For sure, there are farms that lie to the world that, oh, we are doing this. This year we've recycled this amount of waste. Or this year we've used this kind of sustainable packaging materials. But audits can be done. And yeah, we can expose such initiatives. So I think the only thing that can be done is, NEMA, UNBS doing audits, like moving to different companies and finding out if they're really doing what they say to the world. Yeah.
Yes. So, Peter, in an ideal world, what would you think what would a perfect zero waste way of living look like, really?
In an ideal world, I would say it would be a world where people refuse what they feel like is not good for Mother Nature and go for what they think is good for Mother Nature. It would be a world where nothing goes to waste. A world where people adopt green practices instead of buying water in like these water bottles. You go for reusable water bottles, something that you know that there will be no waste. You'll consume your water, then the next day you will still use your water bottle and keep on doing that. Yeah.
Yes. So do you think such initiatives like recycling, because as you can imagine, one of the biggest problems we face in Kampala is poor waste management. And on top of that, the underlying issue could be that we have a lot of single-use disposable plastics in use in Kampala. And if you were to visit Kitezi, even up to date, you will find that plastics occupy one of the biggest percentages up there, which is quite alarming. So how do you think Takataka could really, and other businesses, they could really actively pitch into this opportunity created by a crisis like waste? And how do you think our finance structures can best help and empower such businesses like yourself to actually scale and become like the leading businesses out here that are leading the waste recycling initiatives in Uganda?
Yeah, I think Takataka or just recycling farms alone cannot achieve this. We need multiple players. We need government. We need government to come out with policies. We need cities to come out with are they called bylaws? Come out with bylaws that can enable people follow whatever the government comes out with. For example, I'll cite an example. Gulu City worked on some bylaw, which I think is now in the central government waiting approval, where there are restrictions on burning waste within the city. There are restrictions on dumping waste within the city.
Okay.
And there are some taxes levied on individuals for waste management. And if we have such and the laws are enforced, I think that can play a part. We also need like academia to train engineers who can come out with alternative solutions rather than every now and then we see the same plastic bottles, coming out with alternative packaging materials that are greener than what we have at the moment in the market. And the financing bit, I think we can start small. It can start as small as government giving grants to the players, the recycling firms. Government, what I mentioned earlier, cutting off some taxes from imports of machinery needed for recycling. Then we'd also need the companies that are contributing to this. They have a responsibility to sort out the mess. So we also need them on board to sort out their mess. And
Yes, everyone should be responsible for what they are doing really to the environment.
Yeah,
I mean, that is the whole essence of environmental sustainability. All of us have to take the initiative really to save the environment, and we can do this in our own small way, really. So also, Peter, I consider this has been quite a journey for you. And what has been the biggest highlight that has stood out for you in this initiative, really?
I think the biggest highlight is finally figuring out how to make the tiles from the water and soda bottles. We've gone through about 3 different iterations, like 3 different prototypes. Then finally coming out with these and doing different tests on the tiles, like flammability tests, and being able to pass those tests has been like a big highlight to us. And
yes. So what does the future look like for you? I personally, I've shared that this is quite something grand, a big dream, a noble dream, and something that is capable of scaling and becoming even bigger than you. Because this is something that is not also creating affordable construction materials and household items, but also is capable of being a source of carbon credits. Because as you can imagine, you're storing all these plastics in here, in these products that you make. So yes.
Yeah, so the future for us is we are building a state-of-the-art recycling facility in Gulu. We acquired about 5 acres of land, and work has started on the facility. We want to prove the pilot in Gulu. And by pilot, I mean we want to be able to recycle at least 9 tons of plastic waste every month in Gulu and be self-sustainable. Once we reach that point, we want to replicate the same model in other cities like Kampala, Mbale, and other cities across Uganda, and eventually replicate the model in other cities across East Africa.
Yes, so Peter, so you meet someone and they are really having a hard time understanding or accepting the fact that, yes, these sustainable tiles are the way to go. Some of us, for us, it may not be an issue. For example, for me, it wasn't an issue when I met you to pick interest in this. But if you meet a skeptic, and I tell you that we have so many skeptics, basically maybe because we are more interested and more comfortable living with what we are familiar with. So if you met a skeptic, what would be the one thing you would tell them that you think is going to convince them to understand that, yes, investing into recyclable products like the plastic tiles is the present and the future of environment sustainability, probably?
Yeah, I will just remind them of the weather changes that we are having currently, like that days when you expect it to be hot and it's extremely cold. Like a few days ago across Uganda, it was extremely cold. And remind them that some of the causes of those environmental changes is actually poor waste management, the CO2 emissions and so forth. And also remind them that each of these offsets 1 kilogram of CO2 from being emitted. And imagine if every household is using this, how much are we emitting? Aren't we, doing that, wouldn't we be contributing to making the world much better? Then the other thing is, of course, the installation cost of this is way lower than installing ceramic tiles. You don't need cement, sand to install this. You just need industrial glue, and you can easily do it. You don't need an expert to come and show you that. Stick this on your wall.
Yes.
Here, yeah. So the installation cost is way lower, and they can again be recycled. When you're tired of using your tiles, we can recycle the tiles into other products.
Okay. So Peter, yes, now we are going to do I'm going to mention a product of yours that you have, and you are going to share with us how many bottles of plastics are in there. For the ones that I can remember offhand, the ones I can't seem to trace, you will remind me. So yes, this is a learning board. How many plastic bottles are in here? Final product.
Those are 20 small plastic bottles.
Okay. And this is a tile. How many plastic bottles are in here?
20 small plastic bottles as well.
Okay. And the phone stand?
Yes. Yeah. So besides the tiles and the learning aids, the rest of the products are not made from the plastic bottles. They're made from things like the bottle caps, broken.
So you literally consume everything. You finish everything. You don't leave any plastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, we also have a partnership with, we are piloting it with one hospital in Gulu, Lacho Hospital, where they sort out their drip bottles and we help them recycle. We recycle the drip bottles into reusable products.
So yes, now in the phone stands, those are covers. For example, it would be the bottle covers.
Yeah, the bottle. Yeah.
Yes. So how many are we looking at, really?
One phone stand, I would say we are looking at about 90 to 100.
Okay.
Bottle caps.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Now, yes, the other materials that I know or other products that you have the wall hangings.
Yeah.
How many plastics do those ones have?
Yeah.
For example, they are wall portraits. I think they are those of this size.
20 plastic
20 as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Wow, that's quite something.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. It's been great having you. Personally, I've learned a lot, really. And I think what has stood out for me is that in your quest to recycle plastics, you are also impacting lives. You are also impacting communities, creating jobs, but at the same time also inspiring communities to live carbon-friendly lifestyles and also to adopt them in their day-to-day lives. So yes, thank you everyone. My name is Grace, and once again, driving eco-sustainability, my perspective. And for those who are going to watch us later, you should learn that recycling your waste is the present and the future, and it can help you also live a sustainable livelihood. For example, instead of opting for ceramic tiles, you could opt for these plastic tiles. And the catch, or the most interesting thing, is that you do not even need an expert to install them. That not only are they affordable, but they are equally easy to install. You can install them using glue, industrial glue. So yes, Peter, thank you so much. So for those who are interested in finding you, where can they find you?
Yeah, so we have our offices in Gulu, and we recently opened an office in Kampala at Motive. We have a full-time staff there, and very soon we'll be adding more staffs to the facilities. So if you want to find us, you find us at Motive in Bogolobi, and come learn about our work, come buy our products, come figure out how we can partner together in addressing the environmental challenges. Thank you.
Yes. Now, I will share the links to the social media handles for Takataka. And like he has shared, all those who are interested, you can find them at Motive. And even those who can make it to Gulu, you can make it to Gulu. I will share their address. So thank you so much. It's been great having you. Till next time, driving eco-sustainability, my perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I do value the time that you put in to watch every episode. The entire essence I started this channel was to enhance the reach of the voices of those people who are contributing to the fight against climate change and those who are fighting to save our environment. If you liked this video, click the subscribe button so that you can equally contribute to enhancing awareness towards climate action. Let's save our planet together.